It's none of my business, I know, but I couldn't help but notice. Looks like psychosis. Life on relationship road. What's going on over there? It's none of my business, I know, but I couldn't help but notice. Looks like psychosis. We live on relationship road.
Molly from flat 16 is standing outside of number 17, Simon's flat. She knows that he is home because she saw him arrive home from work. She takes a deep breath and knocks lightly. "Hello, Molly," says Simon, opening the door. "How are you?" Immediately, Simon feels as though this is a ridiculous thing to say, because they have not spoken to each other for a few weeks and things feel awkward. They both are aware of the emotional distance between them since they kissed. Molly takes the plunge and says in one long rush of words, "I'm fine, thank you, but we need to talk. I really want to apologise for the other night. It was foolish of me and I don't know what got into me, other than the drink, that is. I really don't want to spoil our friendship, and I was wondering if you think we could go back to being the way we were, possibly." There, I've said what I needed to say. She takes a deep breath and is aware that her face and neck are burning with embarrassment. "I'll leave you to think about it," she says as she turns towards the stairs. "Wait a minute," replies Simon quickly. "I don't need to think about it. Why don't you come in and have a coffee? I would love things to be as they were. Perhaps we can forget it ever happened and pick up where we left off." Molly smiles with relief and goes into Simon's flat. They chat about his day at work, and by the time Molly has sat down with her coffee, things between them seem pretty much back to normal. They both know that at some point they may have to address what happened, but for now, they are happy to have retrieved their friendship. Paula in number 9 is on her own again, as Sean has gone to see his mate. He has been going out quite a bit lately, but Paula is finding that she is happier when he's not around. The only downside is that she doesn't know what mood he will be in when he gets home. Sometimes he seems quite pleasant and maybe brings her flowers or chocolates, and other times he is mean to her and saps her energy, and so half the time she simply can't be bothered. She can't work out which is the best way to react because either way is miserable. She is feeling a bit more isolated these days as she rarely sees her neighbour, Shona, now that the weather is cooler and the children are back to school. Paula found that she enjoyed her little chats over the fence during the long summer days, but now she hardly ever sees anyone. She remembers how nice it was to bump into Brendan the other day and have a chat. She wonders idly whether she should go out later in the hope of bumping into him again, but she is certain that Sean would get suspicious if she started going walking later in the evening. What was the point anyway? Paula goes upstairs. She doesn't really know why she wants to look at her mum's jewellery again, but it somehow makes her feel closer to her. She takes the little key out of the bedside drawer and opens the big old wardrobe in the spare bedroom. Immediately she sees that the shoebox containing her mum's jewellery has been moved. With trembling hands and fear, she takes down the box and opens it. There is only her mum's wedding band and 2 necklaces left inside the box. All of the other jewellery is missing. Paula sits on the bed. She is numb. Finally, she takes the 3 remaining items from the box before returning it to the wardrobe. She locks it up and puts the key back in her bedside drawer. She finds an envelope and puts the jewellery inside it. Paula isn't really thinking now. She's on some kind of autopilot. All she can think about now is how to protect the few remaining pieces. She opens the front door and knocks on number 8. Shona looks out the window to see who might be calling. She knows that nobody should be at her door since the increased coronavirus restrictions, and also because the family are self-isolating again, waiting on the test results from the children. Shona sees Paula and immediately realises that it must be something serious, as she has never knocked on her door before. "Paula, are you okay?" she asks with some concern as she opens the door a little way. Paula looks at Shona wearing her mask to open the door, and immediately feels as though she shouldn't have knocked. Shona sees Paula looking and explains the situation. The girls have been sent home from school and they have been tested for the virus. We're all self-isolating until we get the result. It was Rachel who started with a bit of cold and a temperature, but she seems fine now. And luckily none of us have any symptoms, but you can't be too careful. We should get the test results today. I'm so sorry to disturb you, stammers Paula, feeling a complete fool. It's just, well, this might sound a bit crazy, you know, but I mean, would it be possible for you? This sounds so stupid. Shona takes pity on Paula and she steps outside to talk to her a bit better. What's wrong, Paula? Do you need help? Paula nods slowly and tears trickle down her cheeks. Sean has stolen my mum's jewellery, and there's only her wedding ring and 2 necklaces left. I've got nowhere to hide them, and I wondered if... Paula hesitates as she takes the slightly screwed up envelope from her jacket and holds it up. I wondered if I could leave this with you for safekeeping. Shona takes the envelope from her neighbour. She hardly knows this woman. They have spoken just a few times over the fence during the summer, and now she's asking her to be responsible for her late mum's jewellery. Multiple thoughts go through Shona's mind, and she knows that she should hand the envelope back to Paula, but she can't bring herself to do that. Paula looks so completely wretched standing on her doorstep. Shona can see that the poor woman is desperate. Finally she says, "Leave it with me so, and I'll lock it in our safe for the time being. If the test results come back negative today, which we hope they will be, then I'll wave to you from the garden and you can come around and tell me all about it if you want." "Thank you, Shona. I can't come around if Sean is back, but I'm guessing he'll be gone half the night, so I'll do that." "You deserve an explanation. Thank you again." Looking and feeling completely deflated, Paula turns and goes back into her own house. Back inside, Paula collapses on the sofa in a heap of emotional pain and anger. Something has finally snapped inside of her, and her fear of upsetting Sean is now matched with her contempt and loathing. Paula knows that she needs to calm down before he comes back home, or she just might act in a way that she will regret. She gets up and makes herself a hot drink and sits at the kitchen table. Paula decides that she needs to contact a solicitor, but who? Her mind is in turmoil and she begins to shake uncontrollably. Finally the shaking subsides and she sips on her now cold drink. Then she goes upstairs with purpose. She needs to act now while Sean is still out. Paula gathers up her own belongings from their bedroom and moves them all into the spare room. She vows that she will never sleep with Sean again. She has had enough of his lying and abuse. She knows that he will go mad and get angry, and she is afraid. But this time he has gone too far, and so has she. Paval from flat 18 is now in the flat all alone, and he's surprised to find that he misses Kasia. Or maybe I'm just missing being looked after, he wonders to himself. In some ways he's enjoying having the place to himself, and now that Kasia has gone back home to look after her mum, all of the tension has gone with her. Paval is at work most of the time, and so he is only on his own for short periods of time. But he found last Sunday a very long day, especially now since many things have closed down again. He couldn't even go to his usual gym as that had closed down again due to another coronavirus outbreak. Thankfully this week is different, thinks Paval, enjoying the company of his friend Tom. They have just been out for a jog and ordered a takeaway. Earlier Paval had said to Tom, "You might as well have a shower at my place as Kasia isn't there." So Tom grabbed a change of clothes and a wash bag and threw them in his car. Right now he's just appeared from his shower, his body glistening from the hot water that isn't fully dry. Paval looks at him appreciatively. "Have you been working out more lately?" he asks. Tom smiles, acknowledging his compliment. "Only at home. I've got some small weights and I also try to do a good few press-ups every day. I do more at home now since the gyms have been so on and off." "Well, it certainly shows," laughs Paval. "Now get your butt over here as the food has arrived." Tom saunters over to the couch and opens 2 bottles of beer to drink with the curry that Paval is dishing out. They had enjoyed a couple of shots of vodka before Tom went for his shower, and now they are both feeling relaxed in each other's company. "Do you want to watch a movie while we eat?" Paval asks his friend. "Sure, sounds good," responds Tom. "What do you suggest?" Paval thinks for a minute. "Well, there's nothing much on TV, but we might find something worth watching on Netflix or Sky." The 2 friends find a film that appeals to them both. Paval knows that this film has some scenes of male nudity and sex, but he's confident that Tom won't be offended by it. After all, he reasons to himself, that's fairly mainstream these days, and Tom is pretty broad-minded. As the evening progresses, the two lads drink rather too many beers. The film ends and Paval, who by now is feeling pretty lightheaded, says, "You might as well stay over, Tom. I mean, you can't drive after what you've drank." He giggles slightly like a child. Tom is in a similar state to Paval and agrees that he might as well stay over. "This is a great couch," he slurs, laughing at Paval, who seems to be swaying slightly as he talks. "Let's have a fine nightcap," laughs Paval, pouring them both one last shot of vodka. They down it in one. "Come to bed," says Paval, holding out his hand. "It's more comfortable than the couch, and trust me, I know." He nearly falls on top of Tom as he laughs at his own words. Tom takes the preferred hand, and the two friends stagger drunkenly towards the bedroom and fall into Paval and Kassia's bed. If you have something you would like to share or a concern you would like addressed, please send it in and we will try and incorporate it into the future storylines. Tune in again for the next episode of Relationship Road.
Welcome to Relationship Road, where people live just like me and you, alone or together in all kinds of weather, and most of them are scared of this flu. What's going on over there? It's none of my business, I know, but I couldn't help but notice it looks like psychosis. The pressure's starting to show. What kind of neighbor am I? Am I doing my bit for the road? My parents are elderly, my children disorderly, the whole world is suddenly slow. What's going on over there? It's none of my business, I know, but I couldn't help but notice it looks like psychosis. The pressure's starting to show. And if you need me, let me know, and I will be the first to show. What's going on over there? It's none of my business, I know, but I couldn't help but notice it looks like psychosis. The pressure's starting to show. The future, well, nobody knows, but we'll do our best till then, I suppose. I've got my friends and my family, no place that I'd rather be. I'm learning to go with the flow. What's going on over there? It's none of my business, I know, but I couldn't help but notice it looks like psychosis. The pressure's starting to show. And if you need me, let me know, and I will be the first to show. What's going on over there? It's none of my business, I know, but I couldn't help but notice it looks like psychosis. Life on Relationship Road. What's going on over there? It's none of my business, I know, but I couldn't help but notice looks like psychosis. We live on Relationship